yeah, it resonated with my husband more. So husband was constantly sharing, Ere, listen this one, Ere, listen that one. I was trying to listen, but I didn't want. The body didn't want. Um, but yeah, quite soon we died apparently, and and yeah, we have talked that how we managed to stay together so long time, because it wasn't so harmonious relationship, constantly having problems, arguments, not feeling happy, and so on. But clearly there is no free will and choice to break up or something. It didn't happen. So, but when we died, all these stories were like vanishing, and there were no problems anymore. And it was like honeymoon period, and yeah, beautiful. And since then, it's like seeing this face every time like new, falling in
Yeah.
love again and again and again.
Welcome to Silence Sages Speak, the podcast where timeless wisdom meets the present moment. I'm your host, Sukhdev Virdee, and in each episode, we delve into the profound teachings of non-dual masters, those who have transcended the boundaries of duality and revealed the simplicity of existence. Join us on this journey beyond words as we explore the essence of being with those who have realized the truth that goes beyond language, beyond thought. Open your mind, silence your chatter, and let the wisdom of silent sages resonate within you. Today, my guest is from Estonia in Europe. She's a radical, non dualist blogger and YouTuber whose words are full of love as she talks about radical non duality. She's also a non dual mentor and takes personal and group meetings online regarding non duality. I'd like to welcome to the show Ere Parek. Welcome to the show, Ere.
Hi, what a lovely introduction. So nice, full of aliveness. Wow.
Yeah, it's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for being on this podcast. When I saw your videos came across in my YouTube feed, and I said, "Who is this girl who's got such captivating titles of her videos on YouTube?" I love the titles. We'll talk about that. First, tell me, were you born and brought up in Estonia? It's such a beautiful country.
Yeah, born here
You're
in
born and brought
Estonia.
up there. Okay.
Yeah.
And I see is that your husband in the pictures, in the videos what a beautiful couple. God bless both of you. Beautiful. Is he there today with you?
No, he's
Maybe
in.
later on, if he's there, I would love to talk to him as well. Um, tell me how it was growing up in Estonia and how did you come into spirituality and how did non-duality come into your life?
That would be long story, apparent 40
No
years.
problem. Okay, we can just come down to were you always spiritual when you were young? Did you have these questions? What is going on? What is the universe? Who am I? Those kind of questions. And how did you then take off when you grew up?
Hmm.
And another thing, I think from your YouTube channel, I've seen that you've been talking about non-duality for the past 1 year. So, 2 years, okay. And but you've had the channel for about 12 years, so you've been talking about a lot of other things. So this is quite like about recent, about 2 years, 3 years ago. Yeah, tell us about that.
Mm, well, let's start from the childhood, as you at first asked. I was in Ere's childhood in Estonia and so on.
Okay.
So Ere was very free child, like didn't have certain kind of parenting happening. It was freestyle. So Ere always
Okay.
felt like free. But then conditioning started, schooling, and so on. So the life here went more and more unbearable, like restrictions, rules, how this should be, how Ere should be. It didn't fit anymore to
Yeah.
this, and it didn't make sense, and it was unbearable. So I guess from that the seeking started, and in later years there was seeking what is the meaning of life, and especially what is my meaning
Yeah.
to be alive, or what is the purpose of life, or my purpose, and that started the seeking, or activated even more, and then Ere died apparently. found a life purpose to be a healer, helper, did all sort of kind of things, was channeling and so on,
Oh,
and
wow.
from the higher self, and it was quite interesting. Whatever was happening, automatically, no one did anything. It just appeared to happen with no one. But that time, Ere thought that it's happening with me, and I am doing this. I am doing the healing, and I am the responsible of these consequences, and so on. So yeah. But then Ere died, and there was no one to heal, and nothing to heal, and nothing to channel. No higher self, no source, nothing. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow. So you've done healing and channeling as well. Did it came naturally? You never learned it, or you
Yeah,
always had the ability?
it just suddenly started. In the story, Ere mother was healer, was healing herself and others. She
Okay.
had 2 cancers. She healed it by herself, and so Ere was like in that kind of conditioning or environment grown, and maybe that's why. Who knows? It came very naturally, and it just started when it started to happen. It was surprise. It was big surprise.
Oh, wow. 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 So did you when you say Era died and or obviously the energy probably left or constricted energy that makes you feel that you're the person that like vanished or merged or whatever dissolved. Uh, do you remember that or was it just it happened over a period of time gradually or was there a sudden like, oh, where is it? Where am I? Who am I? Was it like that?
It was gradual.
Gradual.
It was gradual, and it was noticed months later that there is no one. So when there was already no one
Yeah.
playing out, no one noticed that there is no one. It was so gradual. So it took a couple of months to get some empty feedback and recognizing, although no one recognized this, that yeah. And looking back to Ere's story, what have apparently happened, and seen that okay, I haven't been here around for a while, but just didn't notice this. So it was very gradual.
Wow. Wow. I love that word. No one noticed that there's no one.
Yeah.
When you talk about this now, the gradual knowing of it, did did you come across any teachings, any person who made you notice that, or was it spontaneously on yourself? And when you noticed that, did you go out and try to find out? Because when it happened for me, it was like, whoa, is there any other person out there who's experiencing the same thing? So I went out and looked for, people online, books, teachers. Did you have any of that sort of thing?
When I was no more, so to speak, I started to attend different non-duality meetings, and
Yeah,
then it was fun to just be around with no ones who have the same language,
yeah.
and yeah, then it was fun. But prior to that, there wasn't not much seeking or listening or reading, nothing. I didn't
Okay.
even resonate the message. I didn't like it. The me didn't like this. It was getting so frustrated and contracted, and was listening like 5 or 15 minutes, Jim Newman or Tony Parsons, and then shut it down.
Yeah, yeah. The mind can try to push it away because it doesn't
Yeah,
want to hear,
yeah,
it doesn't want to hear that
absolutely.
it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I watched quite a bit of your YouTube videos, and so when you agreed to come on to the podcast, I thought I'll go online and find out what I can about you. So I found out your YouTube channel and your website nonduality.ee, and on your YouTube channel, one of the videos, like we talked about mine, there's a video where you talk about there is no mind. Yeah. And this is something that we have obviously grown up with conditioning, like you said, when you were young. Also, you were told there was a lot of pressure, or you were being told that you have to do this, you are doing that, and all that. So there is a mind with thoughts, and then when you wake up to this realization, and you actually realize there is no mind. How do you explain that to somebody who has still not come there?
I would say that there is no one to have a mind, to have a thought, to have a feelings or hands or head. So no one have a mind.
Yeah. But there are other people who describe the mind such as, it's just a bundle of thoughts, or it's just a bundle of memory and imagination. That is what the mind is. But in reality, it is not there. And if you listen to other gurus, they probably tell you things like the mind is existent and non existent. If you go to find it, you'll never find it. It's nowhere to be found. If you try to stop it, it's everywhere. So it is there and it is not there. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, Tell me, if somebody told you this, maybe 10 years or 12 years ago, that there is no mind or there is no one, what would be the reaction of Ere at that time?
It probably wouldn't resonate. There wouldn't
Yeah,
be any openness to this.
yeah,
Yeah, it's unlogical.
yeah. It's
It's
completely
very
illogical.
comforting. Yeah, it's
Wow. So,
comforting for the me to hear this. I
okay.
remember when couple of years ago, maybe three, I don't know, my husband started to ask me, Ere, what do you think about free will? And there was error. Like, what does it mean? I didn't understand. I couldn't go into discussion with him because I didn't understand even what does it mean free will. And do you think that do you have free will or not? I even didn't understand that part. But see, he occasionally asked again, and that is like the seed that that started to grow. It's of course
Oh,
the story. It's just a story. Everything I'm telling is just an empty story. But yeah, it's obvious that there is no one to have a free will or choice. But as long as there is this sense of being someone, there is also the sense of free will and choice. But I even didn't understand these kind of words at that time.
and you never tried to find out what made the change, what made the difference? How did suddenly Era completely disappear, and or maybe was never there, and Era thought that she was there, and now she knows that she's not. She was never there. Did you ever try to think back? Why did I ever think what I thought when I was young, and now I know better?
No, no, there is no one who knows anything. Not better, not worse. Yeah, that one completely is gone. With this apparent me who wants to know, who wants to understand whatever have happened, that one is no more, and it seems that nothing have ever happened. It's
Yes.
just a story. Yeah, there is no past or future, and this doesn't go anywhere. Or even this speaking about this or sharing this message doesn't go anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I would assume that the reason for me doing this podcast is, I try to get as many people who are on the non-dual path to talk about non-duality, so that it helps those who are, like you said, you are seeking. There was a time you were seeking, and there are other people who are seeking and maybe are looking for answers. And these kind of talks might trigger something in them that might put them on the path. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, that because it happened for me as well. I watched a lot of masters online. I read a lot of books. And so my reason for doing this is so that other people on the path get to listen, like, what we're talking, or what it feels like, or what led to it. How was life before? How is it now? And suddenly there's none of it. You know, it sounds completely insane. If I spoke to myself 15 years ago, I would say this person has lost it. He's mad. He needs to go to a mental hospital. He's saying there's no time, there's no space, there's no one. What do you mean there's no one? There's so many people around here. Um, so my reason for doing this podcast is to get people like you to come and share your stories so that other people can benefit. There are many people who would be in your position or would have gone through something similar that maybe they've not realized, but if they think about it, who am I? And they might realize, oh, I'm not there. Or like we spoke about the mind, if somebody inquires, really will find there is no mind. Um, let's talk about. I love your video titles on YouTube. Who decides those titles because they are so catchy, they are so funny, and they are so brilliant. Let me read you some of them. You will never get free, liberated, or enlightened.
Yeah, there is no one who
Okay.
can get liberated or
How,
enlightened.
how do you explain that to
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't know?
So you were saying that listeners who are watching this may benefit whatever we are sharing. When I'm sharing this, it has no intention to help anyone because I really don't see anyone. So
Okay.
just giving suggestions, directions is just maintaining the dream of I am who can do something, who can benefit out of it something. So my message is quite directly saying that it's not my message, sorry, but I don't know how to speak about this, that there is already no one who can get enlightened, who can get liberated or free. There is only freedom or only enlightenment, you can say also, but it's not personal. Nothing is personal
Yes.
because there is no person.
Yes.
But the one who wants to benefit from it is the person, individual. So it seeks in circle endlessly to its own absence. It wants to be there to recognize this, that there is no one, that I am free, that there is only freedom. But this is just reinforcing the dream of I am, the dream of duality.
Yeah. So when we say the dream of duality, for a dream to happen, there must be a dreamer. Can we have a
Yeah.
dream without a dreamer?
Well, they are not two. Dream and the dreamer are one. When this
Yes.
dream is no more, the dreamer is gone also. No one wakes up.
Oh yeah. I read that somewhere on your blog, I think, where you say, uh, no matter how much you wake up, you're still dreaming. I love that. No
As
matter
long
how
as,
many times you wake up, you're
yeah,
still
yeah.
dreaming. Explain that a little bit more, because when you wake up from a dream, okay, you say that was a dream. I am now awake. Now you wake up from reality and say, oh, all this is a dream, and somebody tells you even that is a dream. How do you I'm trying to get you to share some of your insights, so that these are questions that people will have in their mind. How do you explain it? How can you say it's all a dream, and if I wake up, I'm still dreaming, then I haven't woken up? How
Mm.
would you explain that?
Well, in Ere story, there was awakening happening prior to this, hearing this message, Nonduality. So it happened, I don't know, a year or two prior to that. So in that awakening, there was still someone who was awakened and who wanted to awake the world, who wanted to awake people from this dream of this nonsense, whatever people are in, working, eating, sleeping, repeating
Yeah.
constantly. Like life is not about that 70 years or 60, 50, however years you're working yourself to sick and then you're dying. Is that the life meaning, life purpose? And that started the seeking here. But as long as there is like someone who claims, who got something liberated, awakened, it's still a dream. That someone dies in this what I am sharing, then there is no one. There is no one who is liberated or enlightened or awakened. So yeah, the awakening here, everybody use it differently, I guess, but here it's still part of the dream. From this dream of separation, no one wakes up.
Yes,
But for
yes,
the
yes.
dreamer, it feels like in nighttime dream. It feels so real. You are sweating, you are screaming, you are waking up. You think that this is real. Body thinks it's real. It's sweating and so on, and then it's, it was a dream. Now I'm awake. I'm alive. I'm not in that war. What was in the and it thinks that this is real. This daydream where I was awakened is real because I am the sense is real, and from that everything else is real. But when this realness or I amness was no more, then there was nothing that is real or no one that is awakened or yeah, that this personal something, this contracted energy was no more. It appeared, it happened like the awakening here in the story, and they claimed to be awakened was still part of the dream. But yeah, there is at the end there is no dreamer either. No one is dreaming that dream that it is separate. There is already no separation. So when this dream apparently collapses, then there is no dreamer also. And then it's seen there is no dream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Difficult to
get that.
explain.
I get that. In I studied the Eastern. I'm from Kenya. Lived in London for a few years. Then I was in Dubai. I've been in India for about 20 years now. I was into music, so that's why I came to India. I was working with the film industry, Bollywood, doing music. Um, so I studied the Eastern texts, the Eastern masters, the Eastern scriptures of like the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and I've studied also the other ones, the Western ones as well. So in Advaita Vedanta, they talk about the person never gets freed. This person will never get free. Like you say, um, he will never get enlightened. He will never get freedom. He will never awaken. But
Mhm.
it's you, not you as in the person. This person is let gone. You let go. You are freed of the person. You are no longer the person. And that realization makes you realize, this was never real. This was never true. And what is real is what is already around us. Whatever there is, that is the truth. And they call that existence itself. It's called Sat. That means the truth of what is. Whatever is must be real and true. What is, everything that is the truth, what is right now. So we say, you're not, the person never gets free. You are freed of the person, and not a person who gets freed of the person. You are the universe, or emptiness, nothingness, whatever you want to call it, consciousness is freed of this person. I i i, I think I read this on your blog. Oh, you're a blogger as well. I love the poetry you do. Tell me, do you sit and write this, or does it just flow out from you? Does it just come spontaneously? Because you have beautiful poetry.
Yeah, only spontaneously when it's happening. Nothing is planned. It's effortless when it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you never sit to rhyme the words or think about it, just comes and you put it down.
Yeah.
I,
Quite
I
free
want
flow.
Yeah, the reason I was saying that is because you have one on. I love the title. Let me just check it on your website. It's titled "Let It Go," but I don't know how. And in that poetry, you have actually put up the questions that a seeker would have. Um, let me just read this out. It's so beautiful. These are the questions a seeker would have. When non-dual people say, in other texts as well, you have to just let go of who you think you are, because you are not that. Let me read this. It's so beautiful. Let it go, but I don't know how. I don't know how to let go. I don't know how to surrender. I don't know how to accept. I even don't know how to react or reject. I can only claim that I have done it when it's done already, and not by me. Me is no more or less than just a storyteller, and there is no separate story and the teller. They are one and the same. These are the questions a seeker has in their mind. When you tell somebody, just let go, you who you think you are, let go of that, drop that.
I don't
And
say that
the
because
question,
who can let go?
you don't hold on to something else. You're not
Yeah, but
holding
there
on
is
to
no
something
one
else.
holding on.
Yes.
Also, there is also no one holding on or letting go. So there is also no one who can accept or surrender. It happens or it doesn't. But there is
Oh,
no one having the power to hold on, to let go, to do this or do that. Everything is done already and not by you. So you
okay.
can't undone anything. There is no you.
So is there no way that somebody can realize this, or somebody can awaken to
There
this?
is no one. There
No,
is no
no.
one who can realize
So,
this.
for
That this is
somebody
not
who
the.
thinks, for somebody who thinks that they are this, for
Yeah.
somebody who thinks, for Ere, who was 12 years old, who thought that she was the girl, there is no way that she can come into this.
Uh, Life kills you. You can't do anything. There is no you.
Yes, life
The
does kill
one who
you.
wants to do something to arrive somewhere where is liberation or personal freedom or who wants to realize this,
Yes.
this one is illusion. So when
Yes.
there's this still this this need to become something full or bigger or fulfilled or whatever, as long as there is this personal agenda, it's just stays in a
Yes.
dream of duality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Personal is completely obviously an illusion. Personal would mean the person, the mind, the body, the whatever you think I, me, myself. That can never reach anywhere. That cannot do anything. But when we talk about, do you get any intellectual questions where somebody asks if you say if it's all an illusion? If there is an illusion, there must be a reality. There cannot be an illusion without a reality. You see,
Mm.
if there's a mirage in the desert, there has to be sand. If there's a wave in the ocean, there has to be water. If there is a movie on the screen, there has to be a screen. The screen is real, the movie is unreal. The sand is real, the mirage is unreal. The dream is an illusion, the dreamer is real. So if everything is an illusion, has somebody ever asked you what is real then?
I would say that not that everything is illusion, but only the I am, me, self is illusion. And from
Okay.
that, everything emerges, the dream and the dreamer, so to speak. But this is real and it's not real. It's appearing to be like someone, but when it's not anymore, it's seen there never was anyone. So there isn't even the dream or illusion. So it appears to be, but it's nothing. Illusion means it's nothing. It's not real. It's not really happening.
Have you heard of a few of these saints like Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda? Have you heard of them?
Not much.
No. Okay.
Maybe read
So
some quotes in Facebook or something.
yeah. So he says, uh, even for nothing to be there, if there is nothing, you cannot have nothing without awareness of nothing. There has to be some awareness of nothing. Nothing cannot be there without awareness or the knowingness of nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
yeah.
not the knowing. Yeah, this is absolutely not knowing. This one doesn't know anything.
ah,
That was
I
crazy when in the
I know.
story the
Did,
knower
did,
died, and Ere was looking the knowings that Ere couple of months knew, and then couldn't find anything that I can't pinpoint anything. There is no knower anymore, so no one knows this, and this
tell
one
me
people.
when we talk like this and you're talking like this, uh when I started talking like this, a lot of my friends thought I'm crazy. My family thought I've lost it. Did you go through any phase where people thought, what are you talking about now? What is it? Suddenly it's a completely different thing. You are in the world now. You say there's no word. Did you face any of this kind of things from friends, family, from society, community?
I'm sharing this only in my channels, so and
Okay.
very openly in my Facebook also. So all my friends, family members, seems to see this, or maybe they blocked me. I have no idea. I'm not sharing this when there is no openness or no one is asking about
Ah,
this. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the best way to do it. That is the best way. Because to anybody who doesn't understand it at all will think this is illogical, this is insane, this is madness.
yeah. That's why I
Uh,
have my channel, so I can
yes,
share my
yes.
madness there.
Yeah, I want to take up one or two more these titles that you've got on YouTube. How does it feel to be non-existent? That's one of the titles of your videos. How does it feel? So when you say feel, that means there must be a feeling. So let's hear. How does it feel to be non-existent?
Yeah, that's a clicking, how to say, clicking title, because
Clickbait.
someone asked this thing, and then I probably explained in that video, but I don't remember that. Of course, that's not someone having this experience, or someone has still there who can experience this existence or something. There is no separation. It's so immediate. There is no one left.
Yes. How would you explain, how would you define what non-existent mean then? What do you mean by what does What does it mean by non-existent?
I have no clue.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah,
you know
the question, the energy of the question or the from the questioner was that how it feels to you now to be know you, but it's not the
yes,
feeling, it's not the experience. But for the me, for the self, there is always like the sense that there is still someone. Whenever it's saying that there is no one, but still there is someone who is knowing that there is no one. But it's not the case. There is no one left to know. This is not the knowing.
yeah,
And it can't be understood by the apparent knower who is
yes,
listening this. What the
yes,
hell?
yeah. uh, but how do you how do you explain something that cannot be explained? How do you talk about something that we cannot speak about? Um, in India, of course, in the olden days, the ancient texts, if you go to philosophies like Nyaya philosophy, they talk about uh, knowingness, or even to know there is nothing or non-existence. How do you know you know? If we say it cannot be known, how do you know it cannot be known?
Yeah.
It can't be understood. How do you must have understood that it can't be understood. So they work it backwards because it is infinite, it is nothingness, it is emptiness. So if we can't tell, if we can't explain what infinite is, then we can explain what finite is. Explain what is finite. You find all the words that we use in non-duality are negative words. Negative in the
Mhm.
sense not a thing, nothing, empty, limitless, endless, timeless, existenceless,
Yeah,
everything less.
you
It's
can't say
negative.
what it is. You can say
Yes.
only what it's not. Yeah.
So the question here from a good student will be, okay, if you can't tell me what it is, can you at least tell me why I cannot know what it is?
Because there is no separation. Who could know this? Then there have to be something to know and someone who is knowing this. This is illusion, this object subject world. It can't be known. And it's only clear, it's only seen when the seer is no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is no separation anymore. And then there is no one who knows this, but it's obvious for no one.
So here's my question. Is no one still there?
There is no one or someone. There never was anyone, so it doesn't become something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm just teasing you. So a question would be like, oh, so no one knows. So no one knows. So
yeah,
no one is there. There is no one that
yeah.
knows.
No.
Uh, uh, sh- Ere, share some of maybe some experiences that you had in your life that maybe were life changing or transforming on this path, and how you came to meet your husband, and have your husband is awake as well. From what I gathered, he understands non-duality.
Mhm.
And how did you get in touch with him? How is it to have a spouse who is also a non-dualist? I have a wife, but she's completely, dualistic, and she doesn't understand a word I say. And how is it living with somebody who understands it and is your life partner? Share some of that.
Yeah, I have no clue. We met in internet about 18 years ago, and before we had first anniversary, we already had a child planned, and but after that, ordinary life happened: drinking alcohol, doing lots of work, maybe even too much, everything. Yeah, I would say the relationships were very difficult when there were two persons with different personal stories and agendas and conditions. And but yeah, something happened with husband health, and thought he's going to die and having panic attacks and so on. And this started seeking for him many years before Ere went into the spirituality. But yeah, somehow we this non-duality message came when we were quite deep into spirituality, and yeah, it resonated with my husband more. So husband was constantly sharing, "Here, listen this one. Here, listen that one." I was trying to listen, but I didn't want. The body didn't want. Um, but yeah, quite soon we died, apparently. And and yeah, we have talked that how we managed to stay together so long time, because it wasn't so harmonious relationship, constantly having problems, arguments, not feeling happy, and so on. But clearly there is no free will and choice to break up or something. It didn't happen. So, but when we died, all these stories were like vanishing, and there were no problems anymore. And it was like honeymoon period, and yeah, beautiful. And since then, it's like seeing this face every time, like new, falling in
Yeah.
love again and again and again. No history, no memory, no relationships. Only appears to be relationships. But yeah, even our relationship died or diminished prior to this message, hearing this message. So prior to hearing this message, Ere was already dying, but Ere didn't know that. So it was like gradual process, maybe year or so. But yeah, after hearing this message, it took a couple of months when there was no one anymore, and then there was no relationships also with daughter or mother or friends. No one
Okay.
to have these.
Okay. I'm going to ask questions that maybe a seeker will have in their mind. I understand all that, but people watching this will have questions. And so I'm
Yes.
going to ask them on their behalf, so that maybe it can help somebody understand something. Now, when we say, or you say, Ere died, or we died, for somebody, how does he understand that? Because for somebody in the real who thinks everything is real, will say, if you're dead, then how are you talking? If you're dead, you're dead. When you say you died, and how are you still there? What do you mean by Era died? And another question, if you have no relationships, there's no love with the daughter, with the family, with everything, um, is is that a good transition from their point of view? You have left everything, now there's nothing. Is it better to have no relationships with family, friends? How is life after?
What was the first question?
The first one was, we died.
Era died. Yeah, yeah. So actually, no one died because there was no one. But saying in this conversation that Era died, this appearance of someone who felt that is real, that is having a life. I have a life. I have a house. I have a cats. I have a husband. I have a car. I have a story, reputation, whatever.
Yeah,
This died. This
yeah,
illusion of being someone,
yeah,
and and apparently because it was seen that it never was.
yeah,
So nothing changed. This is not better. This is not worse. And with this sense of being someone, also the relationships, attachments, everything falls away because there is no one to have this.
yes,
But it doesn't change anything. The relationship still appears to happen, but just no one is owning this. No
yes.
one is holding on or letting go or claiming that, oh, I let that person go, or
That is beautiful. That is what I wanted from you. The way you have explained it is beautiful. I just put it. You said, there is no I who feels this, who knows this, who has a life. The I. So when we say, Era died or I died, it means the I that I thought I was. The I, me, identity, ego. That is, uh, realized to be an illusion. That one is the one that dies. The one that thinks that I am this. That one not only dies, it never was real.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it can't be seen before or something like that. And when it happens, apparently, then it's seen that there never was. So it wasn't even happening. But as long there is this sense of being someone, then everything is happening, and everything is happening to me or because of me. But that's a dream. There is no one, and nothing is happening. There is no
Yeah.
time. There is no movement.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's very apparent from your videos that I've watched that, obviously, now I don't know how it was before, but you seem to be enjoying life. You're having a beautiful life. I see you walking in the forests in the rain, and you have this beautiful backdrops of, I'm sure Estonia is beautiful. Tell us, what is the typical day now in your life? How does a normal day go by? What do you do if there's usually things are happening, but there's nothing to do?
Yeah, exactly. Just what's happening, just what seems to be happening. Doing nothing or doing something, appearing, um, doing gardening, watching cats sleeping or grass growing or yeah, doing meals or going hiking. Very simple, ordinary, whatever
Yeah.
happens to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what drops down. The sense of ambition that I must achieve this, I must know this, that completely goes. It becomes completely free flowing. Whatever comes, comes. Whatever goes, goes. And there
Exactly.
is no one here to take account of it.
Manage. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just flowing through. That's what it feels like in simple words. So things are happening. So there's no resistance and there is no attachment. The Vivekananda used to say this. Used to say, uh, "I don't resist anything that comes, and I don't go out and seek anything. Whatever comes and goes." Ramana Maharshi also used to say the same. Let what comes come. Let what goes goes. You know, remain as what is.
Yeah.
Um,
But I
you
don't resonate that part so much because
which one?
that still is like claiming or saying that there is someone who can let go, who can do something.
If you use language, because we have to use language. In language, you cannot logically explain something if you're going to use language. Like I said, if you say it's an illusion, the question is, you cannot have illusion without reality. You cannot have a dream without a dreamer. You can't have an appearance without a reality. Appearance is only something that appears as something else. That means there is something which is real. So when we use language, you have to use, these are the questions that will come up. If there is, like I asked you, you said, there is no one already. So I said, yes, there is no one. Don't think there is not. There is. What is there? No one. In language we have to use this, otherwise it becomes difficult to explain it in logical ways. If you don't explain it in logical ways, then it becomes like, oh, there is God, everything is being done by God, so you have to believe. So everything is happening, believe it's happening, let it happen. And
Yeah.
most people
Then
will
it's
say
really,
no. Huh?
yeah, and then there's separation. Yeah.
Yeah, so but when we come to non-duality, it's logical, trying to explain it logically. um, tell me, you travel a lot. You have been to India as well.
Mhm.
You traveled to
Yeah.
Spain, Netherlands. I saw on your website to Thailand, Mexico, Costa Rica, um, Vietnam. You've been all over the place and to India as well. Tell me about the trips. You hold group meetings. You do one-on-one calls with people on non-duality. I saw some of your videos on non-duality, the group meetings. I was so pleasantly surprised that for so many minutes there were actually people there and nobody was speaking a word. They're all sitting in silence. There's nothing to say.
Exactly.
Tell me about your travels. You travel around talking about this non-duality to people, and how do you do it with the groups on your use Zoom channel and on your Zoom calls and your website? I saw personal one-on-ones. People can attend that. People can attend group meetings, and then you have events as well. Tell us
Hmm.
about that. Your
Mm,
travels and your teachings. There is no
yeah.
teacher, I agree. But
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm open to everything. I'm doing group meetings for Patreon members weekly. These are not recorded. I do one-on-ones. Whoever wants to talk about this in Zoom. I do this weekend is in Estonia meeting happening in Estonia language.
okay.
But I haven't done this much. So basically, in internet, in one-on-ones with people over the world, and traveling happens because we just hate Estonia winter. Summer
Ah,
is perfect. Please visit Estonia summertime. Let's have fun. Let's go hiking. Go to sauna. and so on. But winter time, yeah, it's cold, dark, no sun, but this bodies love sun. So as
Yeah.
much as we can, we always travel in the winter time. So yeah,
Okay.
now we are going to Spain also, and then maybe Mexico, maybe Thailand, maybe Vietnam, maybe Costa Rica. We don't know yet.
Okay. So when you
It's,
travel to this, do you host meetings there for people to talk about
no,
this?
no, no,
Oh,
I
it's just
haven't.
holiday vacation
Yeah,
or
holiday and doing one-on-ones or giving interviews.
okay, okay. And you said you do this in Estonia language offline, that is like in group meetings
In
at in places.
Yes, yes, in somebody's house. I was
Okay.
invited. Yeah.
Okay.
I have
If you send me the links of all those, or how somebody who wants to get in touch or wants to attend, you send me those links. I'll put all those links below the video. Your website I will put below the video as well. Now, what are the common questions that you get when from people who come and ask you? What is the most common question?
hmm, I have no clue. I think these are different. Uh, but the main thing that's going through is this, that how I can get free, how I can get liberated or free from suffering, and that they want another better experience for me, because me doesn't want this. Me doesn't want to die. It does everything to survive. It
Yeah.
seeks constantly. It's seeking energy for something else. It's constantly rejecting this, which is already full and complete, is freedom already, but not for me. And that's the experience of separation. That is constantly missing something and longing something. But yeah, actually, me doesn't want this. This is the end of me.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice that you mentioned that they come to you and say, I don't want to suffer anymore. They are in suffering. That's why they want to get, they feel that they need freedom or they need to get out of this, what this body and this person is going through. And that's where the poem, the poem on your blog, Let It Go, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
So how do you help? Can you help them? Because you say that it happens spontaneously. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So how do they react to that? Because then they don't know whether it's going to happen or not. There's nothing they can do about it, and yet they're still in suffering. How do they respond?
Well, I respond that there is already no you who
No,
can get free.
how do they feel? How do they feel? What do they say? I mean, I'm at your I can't do anything. I have to suffer.
Yeah, I can't say anything right now because there are so many different responses happening. For some, whatever Era is reflecting is freeing, is relaxing for the body, and for other, it gets more contracted.
Yes,
And
yes,
yeah, it's just what's happening.
yes,
Um,
yes,
Somebody's asking help, then I can't give any help because I don't see anyone that needs help. And I'm saying that suffering doesn't need to go away. Physical pain doesn't need to go away, grieving or whatever. It's just
yeah,
not personal. There is no one anymore who is having it or who is rejecting it, who is knowing that it shouldn't be here. I shouldn't suffer. I shouldn't feel this way. And this brings even bigger suffering. this so this nervousness or neurosity just goes away when there is no one. But no one can do anything to become no one because there is already no one. This is already no separation. This is already freedom, unconditionally appearing. And
yeah,
it is so free that it can appear also contracted, bounded, me, prison,
yeah.
which is already the expression of freedom.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice that you mentioned that some of them feel it comforting when you talk, and some others get contracted, and it's all to do with the mind. Somebody, like you said, the ego or the mind is there to survive and to stop this kind of talks. So that one will get more contracted, and the one who is open to hearing new things would probably feel more comforting and more relaxing in this kind of talks.
Yeah, yeah. It feels more like home. And
Yeah,
then at least here it was Era didn't like the message, but something, I can't say what, was like arriving home or feeling of arriving home. and that there is no coming back, and I didn't know what that meant, but I was still there. But there was this kind of feeling that this feels like home, and I don't know what the home is. And yeah, there is nothing else. There is anything else. There is only this, what is, and this is already home. You haven't never been away, far away, or closer to this,
Yeah, yeah,
and you can't arrive home where you haven't never left. That's the dream, that somewhere else in the future, and that's just maintaining the dream that something will happen in the future. But even this so-called death is not the happening.
yeah, yeah. Has somebody ever asked you then, after all this kind of realization or talks, or when we say there is nothing and there's no one already, is there any purpose to life?
No.
There is no purpose. That's the real answer. That's the true answer. But now, then somebody will say, okay, if there's no purpose in life, then I can commit suicide. I can go and kill somebody. I can go and do bad things. It does not matter. There is no
Yeah.
one already doing it.
Yeah, there never was anyone doing.
So
There is no one to blame even when somebody is doing the suicide or somebody is killing somebody. It's just what's happening apparently. There is no free will or choice. It's all innocent. It's all unconditional love. And it can't be understood by this limited mind
yes, yes,
that have concept of perfectness or unconditional loveness or freedom. This is not the concept what I'm talking about.
yes,
This
of
can't be
course.
understood.
Yes.
These are just empty pointers to something that you can't even point to.
Yeah, obviously. We can point, it's in simple words, we are trying to talk about that, the silence. We are trying to
Beautiful.
take, we're trying to talk, we're trying to explain how can we explain it. The moment I spoke, the silence is broken. So, uh, so all this, like you said, it's beautiful. And for anybody listening, it's not a license until you realize you don't know it. It's not a license that, oh, Era said, Sukhdev said, no one is there, so I can go and do what I want now. And there's no free will. It has to be your own uh, experience. It's got to be you who's got to know there's no one, not somebody telling you there is no one already. So that it becomes your understanding or your knowing. Uh, I like the way you say, where is that line? Let me just pull it out again. From the same poem where you say, I can only claim that I have done it when it's done already and not by me.
Yeah, the storyteller. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it tells the story itself, or the story is telling itself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes. Yes. Wow. Wow. This, I talk to non-dual people from the East and from the West, and it's so fun when I hear to get you have got a very different way of talking about it, and it's so nice to hear it from different people in different ways. Yet you're talking about nothing, silence. Um, Era, tell me, you have any upcoming events or any? I, I went on your blog, on your website, and it said book. So I thought maybe you have written a book. And I clicked on it, and I saw a picture that looked like a book cover. And then I kept clicking on it, thinking it's a book. I thought you have written a book, but it wasn't a book. But what I found there was a beautiful quote. It says, it's real and unreal. Everything is as everything is nothing. And I love that because I I have learned a lot from Ramana Maharshi, and he's written a book called 40 Verses on Reality. And his first verse is, awareness is all there is, real and unreal. And you have used the same words, it's real and unreal. Everything is as everything is nothing. Tell me, what how people can come in touch with you. How can they get in touch with you for one-on-ones, for your group meetings, for the Zoom calls, the calls that you host on YouTube, uh, for the non-duality talks? And Any events that are coming up that people can maybe get in touch with you and reach out to maybe talk or learn more about nothing? No one?
I think everything is can be found in my website or my contacts. Very is easy to contact. But yeah, I wanted to add that you were saying that you are talking about people from one side of world and the other side of world,
Yeah.
and many people are talking about same thing, same no thing,
Yeah.
seemingly with different words, with different energy. Every expression is like a flower.
Yes.
One smells better for somebody, and
Yes.
some else smells better for somebody else. But Ere have no background of spirituality, Advaita,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Buddhism, and so on and so on. And when Ere started to do one-on-ones like 2 years ago, then people who came to have a one-on-one, they had lots of knowledge about Buddhism and Advaita, and I didn't have anything
Yeah.
to say because I have no knowledge. I still
Yes.
don't have anything. So these words, which no one is speaking, and I got the responses like it's like um, Heart Sutra, and I'm hearing first time what is Heart Sutra. I have no
Heart
clue.
Sutra.
Or
Yeah. Okay.
or your Bodhisattva. I have no clue what the
Yeah.
Bodhisattva is,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, I'm not ruined by these knowledges that
Yes.
can affect how this body is speaking. So this body is totally empty in that sense already. So it doesn't come from learned of something.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, this I guess Era language is very simple. Um, yeah, I have not much
No, that
vocabulary or words to express this, but here is always lots of love to share
yes.
this and passion.
That is so beautiful. That is so, I'm so glad you said that because this is testimony that you don't need knowledge. You don't need anything for this to take
No,
place. You
nothing
don't
leads to
need
this, but
knowledge.
it's already, yeah.
All the knowledge in all the scriptures are only pointing to that which is not. It is unlearning. Knowledge is to understand that you cannot understand it. All the knowledge in the books is to tell you that it cannot be understood. How do you, like I said, if we say the absolute is infinite and it cannot be known, so if we can't understand it, at least we can understand why we cannot understand it. So you don't need knowledge, you don't need words. In fact, you have to let go of all the knowledge. It is unlearning, it is not learning, unlearning. Everything you
Yeah,
have learned, let go of it. It's
yeah,
all
and you can't
on
let go. You can't let go. And of course, nothing leads to
uh,
this. You can meditate, you can practice, you can learn, you can
yes.
do whatever,
Yeah.
but nothing leads to this. But of
Yeah.
course, everyone can die apparently while meditating, while learning, while
Yes.
practicing.
Yes.
But when it's happening, then it's seen that nothing lead to this, that this is already. There is no separation. The only illusion is that there is separation. I am, and this when this is no more, it's seen there never was separation. So there is no gap, there is no bridge to cross from here to there. There is no here to there. There is only everywhere and nowhere. And this is done
Wow.
already. So
This is
yeah, but there is no
beautiful.
choice. There is no free will and choice to meditate or to try to arrive what we are
Yeah.
talking about by meditating or learning something.
Yeah.
This is also just so innocent, just so pure, unconditional love. What's happening? There is no one doing the meditation, and so there is no one who is dying. There is no
Yeah.
death. There is only
Wow.
aliveness,
You have
boundless
so much
aliveness.
knowledge. You're saying you have no knowledge. This is so
I have nothing.
beautiful. This is so see, this is uh telling somebody who is a meditator, somebody on the karma yoga path, somebody on the path of knowledge, somebody on the path of love and devotion and believing in God. This is telling them that when it does happen, you will realize all that was not required. It was
No, nothing is required.
all
Yeah.
all of it led to what was already there.
Yeah.
It ended up where it was never and was always there. So all
Yeah.
the paths are just paths. You can do as much as you want, meditate as much as you want, learn as much as you want, go and worship God as much as you want.
Yeah.
Um,
And you
when you,
can't do it wrong or you can't do it right.
yeah, and all that you have to understand also is in duality. When you meditate, object, subject, God,
Yeah.
devotee, meditator, meditated. It's dualistic.
Yeah.
So
That's the
beautiful,
dream.
beautiful. You have great knowledge. That is
I
beautiful.
don't have anything.
So, Era, last question. Is there anything that you feel that can help the people watching this, or maybe you want to say that I might have missed out, or you would like to say to somebody listening to this and trying to let go, even though he can't let go or she can't let go? How would you give some parting words?
Everything is it. So when there is this holding on or trying to let go happening, then this is also it. There is no one who is holding on or letting go. It happens or it doesn't as anything. In the story, Ere was dying in a couch, letting go, but Ere didn't do that. It was happening by itself. No one can let go. No one can die. No one can do anything because there is no one. And this, what is shared here, can resonate or not. Both are this, just what's happening. Both is perfect. Everything is perfect. Not for me, not for anyone, but in a sense that there isn't anything else. So even if there is suffering or imperfectness, whatever arising is also unconditional love or perfectness is what is. There isn't anything else. And yeah, as long there is this sense of being someone, of course there is resistance, what is, and constantly looking something else. And yeah, then this is what's happening. Then this is what is. I'm not saying that this is wrong or bad. There is nothing wrong or bad or right or good. It's all equal. It's all just what's happening. Unpersonal. Nothing is personal. There is no person.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Era, thank you so much for spending this time with us. I I I'm sure we've got a great deal of wisdom that you have shared with you through your experiences, through even talking about nothing and no one and everything already. For somebody on the path, I'm sure many people will benefit from these talks. If you send me the links of your I'll put the links of the website and send me the ones of how they can get in touch with you for the offline meetings in Estonia. I'll put those links on the video below. I want to thank you so much, Eres, so much for this time. And hopefully we'll do this again after a few months if you're up to it, if the one is still there.
Sure. Sure. Thank you very much. It was lovely to have a time with you and speak about this, which is
Yeah.
nothing and everything. Much love to you and
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you.
Yeah.